What's up, bosses? Welcome to the first show of 2021. Here's hoping this year is better than the last one. Now, you may be wondering what topics we're covering on our first show of the year. Well, don't worry, we've got a little bit of everything, including a full list of this year's upcoming truck shows and if they'll be virtual or in person. We tell you what an OOIDA official hopes to accomplish under the new presidential administration. We explain why you shouldn't let your ride idle in this month's Maintenance Minute. Let's get rolling. I know. You're just as excited as we are to jump right into today's show. But before we jump into those things I mentioned earlier, let's talk on a more serious note. You see, our regulations correspondent Brad Kuhn has been working hard on his broker transparency report. You may remember we brought you part 1 a few weeks ago. This week we have part 2, and it gets a little bit more detailed. Brad, take it away.
What possible reasons are there for not having to comply with the law? What do brokers say excuses them from complying with this?
According to some of them, the regulation 371.3 is outdated. The original intent was something entirely different than the way it's being interpreted now. What brokers will also tell us is that non-disclosure agreements between a broker and a customer, i.e. a shipper, prevent them from disclosing this information to a carrier. FMCSA should not allow a broker to exempt themselves from a federal regulation using a non-disclosure agreement with a shipper or with one of their customers. That's what's being done right now. It's not being enforced. And to my earlier point, again, a lot of carriers aren't even asking for this information, again, for fear of retaliation.
So FMCSA is the regulator here. Why haven't they been enforcing this?
That's a great question. The agency has the National Consumer Complaint Database, which is supposed to be a resource, in this case, for carriers to file a complaint against a broker if they believe noncompliance with the regulations has happened. And it's the National Consumer Complaint Database is used for other things as well. But what we found out actually when we looked at this database and we just tried to go through the steps, tried to file a complaint against a broker, there wasn't even an option to list. It basically, at the time, it asked you, who are you filing a complaint against? And a broker wasn't even an option. So I think that database has hopefully been updated by now, but that's really the mechanism for FMCSA to receive a complaint against a broker and to basically adjudicate that complaint one way or another. And it just doesn't work as intended. I think, back when this started, we were kind of optimistic, but a lot of our members that have used the National Consumer Complaint Database haven't had a lot of success, but we're still encouraging them to file them. And I say that because even FMCSA has said, look, we don't have a lot of complaints from carriers against brokers for non-compliance with the regulations. And what we actually pointed out to them at the time was that's probably true. But one, again, a lot of carriers are afraid of retaliation. And two, if you go onto the database, filing a complaint against a broker is not even an option. So I think they fixed that, or hopefully they have.
For the Truck Boss Show, I'm Brad Kuhn. I'll see you down the road.
Thanks, Brad. If you missed part 1 of the report, you can find it in our Season 3 YouTube playlist. And don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons so you don't miss part 3. Now let's head over to Isela for some news from the FMCSA.
It's a new year and it's time for renewals for most of you. And it can get a little stressful if you like to wait until the last minute like I do. So here's a little bit of relief. The FMCSA has issued a new waiver for commercial driver's license and commercial learner's permit holders whose license expired March 1st of 2020 and medical cards that expired on or after the 1st of last year. Now, the waiver extension is effective through February 28th of this year. That's only to name a few. The FMCSA explained that due to the public health emergency, state driver's license agencies in many states shut down completely or experienced higher than normal employee absences, making it tough for truck drivers to renew their commercial driver's licenses. Now, make sure you check out the FMCSA for specific actions on these waivers. We'll keep you posted. Carlin?
In a little less than 2 weeks, a new presidential administration begins, and that means there will be new administrators assigned to governmental departments. And now, the head of OOIDA is throwing their name in the hat for the top spot at the FMCSA, Todd Spencer, the president and CEO of the Owner-Operator Independent Drivers Association, formally let President-elect Joe Biden know he's interested in helping lead the administration in November. Spencer, who has been a driver since 1974, says he has seen many changes in his 50 years in the industry and believes he knows how to not only help reduce regulations, but also increase highway safety. Now, only time will tell if he gets a job, but we can expect an announcement in the next couple of weeks. Now, Isela, we love awesome trucks here at the Truck Boss Show, and there's really no place like a truck show to find them. Tell us what next year's schedule looks like.
Last year was a tough one. Many truck shows were canceled or went virtual. But there's one show that kicks it off every year, and that's the MidAmerica Truck Show. And yes, we sure do miss those shows. Now, if you've been living under a rock, Matt's had a plan to come back this year, March 25th through the 27th, to celebrate their 50th year anniversary. But that is all being evaluated, and so far the dates that they're looking at are September the 16th through the 18th of 2021 or March 24th through the 26th of 2022. Now, the final decision is going to be made the day after Valentine's, February the 15th. So make sure you stay tuned because we're going to keep you posted on this and other shows that are to come this year. Carlin?
Well, if you've got a Freightliner Cascadia or a Western Star made between 2008 and 2018, you should listen up. The manufacturer of those rigs, Daimler Trucks North America, is now facing a whopping $30 million in penalties from the NHTSA for tardy recall reporting. According to the investigation, more than 47,000 trucks needed to have issues fixed in 7 different recalls. So if you haven't received a recall notification and you drive one of those truck models made between, again, 2008 and 2018, you should take it in just to be safe. Now, Isela, what else do we have for them?
Here's this month's Maintenance Minute on why it's not a good idea to let your truck idle. Check it out.
Hello, David, Rush Truck Center, Oklahoma City. Maintenance in a minute. Today's topic, reducing your idle time. You're gonna say, why do I wanna reduce my idle time? I want my truck hot in the winter, or I want it cold in the summer. The longer your truck sits at idle with today's emissions is gonna take a chance of it not performing up to heat temperatures like the truck should. You're gonna take a chance plugging up your system from the soot and everything else. So you've got cost associated to your truck sitting there idling. It's burning fuel. It's got more wear on the motor. It's got more wear on the oil. You're gonna break the oil down. Your truck's gonna overheat. Any of those things could happen. Wanna make sure you're there with it. So if you cut down that idle time, you'll cut down those chances. David, Rush Truck Center, maintenance in a minute.
Who knew that it was not a good thing to idle your truck? And especially during the winter, that seems to kind of be, the go-to.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty normal, but I guess it's not. So there you
Right.
have it. You already know that we're always going to keep you posted on some of those maintenance minutes, making sure that we give you some good tips, and we want to make sure that you are still rolling as you need.
That's right. That's right. And we do it every month, so be sure to hit that like and subscribe buttons so you don't miss them. Now, another thing you guys don't want to miss are our monthly giveaways. So we just announced the winner for the December giveaway. Remember, that was the Eagle hood ornament there, so congratulations to the winner there. If you're interested to see, or if you don't know who it is yet, go check it out to make sure that it's not you. Right? And then in January, we do have a great giveaway plan for that. We're going back to our normal boss boxes, but this one's got a special surprise you're not going to want to miss. So just go to our Facebook page, and it is the video pinned there to the top.
That's right. We're going to be hooking you up here on the Truck Boss Show. Now, next week, you guys got to stay tuned because we're going to be having our guy, Matt, and it's Matt Izzo.
Yeah.
Izzo.
The
Matt
little
Izzo.
guy. People know him as the little guy.
Matt the little guy. So he's going to be having advice for new truckers. And also, we're going to be having some info on some freight rates. So it's going to be interesting stuff. You got to check that out.
That's for sure. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You guys really helped us persevere through 2020. And 2021, we got even more things planned. So we're going to continue to need your support. So go ahead and give us a like. Invite your friends to like us as well so we can keep bringing you this content that we love to do.
That's
and
right.
of course, Isela, why do we do this?
Because you're the boss.